Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Epic Vision Zone. My name is Jane Applegath, a former award-winning stockbroker, television producer, script writer, yoga instructor, and serial entrepreneur, now founder of the Epic Vision Zone. I'm here to fulfill your big dream by showing you how a powerful vision is the portal to messaging, money, and meaning. Because what you say and why you say it is the key to achieving epic success on your own terms. That's why here at the Epic Vision Zone, we bring you some of the world's most influential people to inspire you to hit the go button on your epic life. A big thank you to everyone for being here today. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Somewhere along the way, we must learn that there is nothing greater than to do something for others." Kristy Yoder is the founder and CEO of Smart VAs, or virtual assistants, and host of the Master Delegator podcast show, where she teaches entrepreneurs and leaders how to grow their businesses by delegating and hiring virtual assistants. Kristy's passion is helping stressed out and overwhelmed ambitious entrepreneurs get their time, freedom, and life back while running a successful business. Who doesn't want that? Her objective is to empower you to use delegation as a tool that carries you towards your vision versus a simple hack to get things off your plate. A multi-skilled leader, Kristy worked her way from being a freelance virtual assistant and digital marketer to becoming her own boss and CEO. She has since built and trained a team of more than 70 plus virtual assistants based in the Philippines to help business owners scale their businesses while living a freedom-filled lifestyle. Kristy has served more than 200 businesses and grown her business to 7 figures in revenue. Her unique skills not only help entrepreneurs scale their businesses, but they also empower them to live a freedom-filled lifestyle with peace of mind and prosperity. Welcome, Kristy. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Well, we're excited to get started, and I can't wait to delve into this topic, which is something that all entrepreneurs, leaders, business individuals need. And I know it's a big industry now and growing very quickly. So kudos to you for having made a success in this fashion so early on. So give us an idea of how you got started as a virtual assistant yourself and what made you decide it was time to make that leap to start your own business.
Wow, that is a good question. So I started becoming a virtual assistant or slash freelancer in early 2018 when I find out that I'm gonna be moving to the States. So to those who don't know me yet, I'm originally from the Philippines. So English is not my first language, just so you know. So if I stutter here or if I take a pause, you know that you know why. So so when I decided to move to the States, um, I talked to my then fiance that I don't want to build a family and not be able to take care of my husband or our future kids. So I told him that I'm gonna start honing on my admin and technical skills so that I can start working from home. And during that time, 2018, freelancers are very common or starting to get popular. And so while I still have a corporate job, I started looking for side gigs, and lucky enough, I got two side gigs that were able to provide, for my needs during that time. And so I applied as a social media manager for those two business owners that I met online. And then when I felt that it's becoming more and more stable, when I had built a relationship with those two business owners that hired me, I talked to my fiance during that time that I am going to leave my corporate job. And from there, I took the leap of faith because I know that I can do it. So I'm the type of person who are a very risk taker. I won't move from the Philippines to the States if I'm not that brave, to face, changes or adjustments that I'm going to be dealing with in the future, because of the decision that I made. And so I took a leap of faith because I know that when I take that step forward, it's gonna bring me closer to my vision. And my vision during that time was, to be able to spend time with my husband and be able to take care of my future kids. Now, I don't have kids yet as of the moment, but at least I know that what I'm doing currently right now, owning my own business and having freedom and flexibility to choose when and what to do, you know, I'd be able to take care of my kids in the future. So yeah, I don't know if that answered your question, but I started becoming a virtual assistant because I had the desire to be my own boss so that I can take care of my family.
Yes, that was, you had a vision. That's what I caught. And I love that because, and then you took action to make that vision come true. And you have been very successful. But I love that you stepped into it because, like you said, you wouldn't be a risk taker if you were going to leave your country of birth and go to another country where the language is your second language. And believe me, my mom is my mom was Mexican, so she did that as well. And it is difficult when you step into a country where English is your second language, so yes, you have that fire within you that you're saying, this is worth it. And I love that. I love that fire and that ambition because that's what's made your business so successful, I believe, to date anyway. But that was a great story. And I love that you took the leap of faith and you took the two clients, decided that that was a good indication that things were going to work out, and then quit your job. You could have waited till you had 5, 10, 20 clients just because, but you didn't. So that fabulous. I love that story. So tell us about your top skills. You mentioned social media, so I'm just going to guess that that might be a top skill because that's where you started, and how you applied those to your business when you first got started.
Well, I consider myself a multi-skilled person. So I can do so many things. I'm the type of person, when you teach me something, I'd be able to do it from there. And so I started learning how to do social media management and other digital marketing approaches. And I've also learned how to create, my own website, how to make sure that my website will be visible on the first page of Google. And so I learned all those kind of things. And at the same time, since I am doing it alone, I learned how to be independent. So I think if you are planning on becoming a virtual assistant or becoming a freelancer, you have to be somehow independent because you cannot just rely on other people to teach you what to do. You also need to make sure that you know what to tap in or what other resources you need to tap into in order to do the work that you need to do. And so i had I have learned those type of skills, and now I'm able to apply everything that I have learned when I was doing everything alone in my business to my now agency. So now I am the one overseeing our marketing. So I have a marketing strategist, but I am the one handling her, and I make sure that whatever strategy she implements, I need to make sure that that is something that is aligned to our vision, to our goal, and that will help us achieve, our quarterly or yearly goals. And so, at first, when I told you about the two clients that I applied for, to have a stable income while I decided, while I was still undecided whether I'm gonna quit my job or not. um, I reached out to them on social media. And I didn't know that reaching out to people before, just being yourself, just say, hey, just being desperate enough to like look for clients because you really need something in order to achieve what you want. And so I reached out to them, and I didn't even know back then that, I have to have like a social media presence, brand awareness before I reach out to them. But out of my desperation, because I really wanted to work from home and start my own freelancing career, I reached out to them on Instagram, and they responded back to me. And I was like, oh, this thing works. So maybe I should do it more often. And so, in the first year of my business, when I started my agency, we've been doing a lot of outreaches on social media, because during that time it was still working. But now, 2021, 2022, everything has changed because of the algorithm. Every day you wake up, everything changes. And so, as a business owner, we have to keep up with those kind of changes. We have to learn something new every day, because if not, then we won't be able to grow our business, because everything just changes every day. So you have to change as well every day for the betterment, for the success of your company.
Right. So continuous learning is definitely at the
Yep.
top of your priority list because of the way that technology continuously changes and the business that you're in. But I love the self motivation because it's interesting the word that you use, because I grab words. And you said out of desperation. I would have said out of self motivation. I looked for. I know that's probably what you felt was desperation, but whatever it was, it moved you to action. But it's self motivation, and the self motivation also falls into your wanting to keep on top of the technology changes to best serve your clients. So that is such wonderful integrity in running a business. And I have to give you kudos because that is really something that will carry through not only for you, but also your staff, those that
Yeah,
work for you, because they know that this is what is required and we better get on the ball. Otherwise, it's not going to be good. But that's
exactly.
wonderful.
And
Go
yeah,
ahead.
one of the clients, that I mentioned, one of them, they're still our clients, and we have scaled because of them. Like at first, they wanted us to handle their social media, but now we're handling their podcast editing, video editing, and we're even handling other parts of their business. Because this client, that we have, this one client, he has a lot of businesses, and now we're handling his other businesses, because now they trust me. Like he knows how I work, and he knows that how I work is how my VAs work as well, because he knows that the kind of person that I am, I pass on my vision to my VAs.
Right. Yes, that's the sign of a great leader. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
And that actually segues into the question that I was about to ask is you what excites you the most about being a virtual assistant and helping others obtain one? Because you answered a little bit of it there because you said you have the one client still and you've watched them grow. So is that part of the thing that excites you the most about being, owning this business and helping others grow?
Yeah, solving their problem, just helping them solve their problem, and seeing them grow their business, and we're part of the solution, that keeps me going. I mean, of course, aside from, I mean, let's be honest here. We all want money, right? Money is like our fuel to work, because without getting an incentive, without getting a reward from your business, we're not going to be that motivated unless we are running a profitable business. But don't get me wrong, yes, we're earning a lot of money on a monthly basis now, but that is not the goal. The goal is to see business owners spend more time with their friends and family or loved ones, because that's what I have experienced in the past when I was the only one doing everything alone in my business. The reason why I started an agency was because I started feeling so stressed and overwhelmed. And I know the feeling of having to work more than 16 hours a day. Not I know the feeling of not being able to spend time with your husband, with your family, with your kids. And so during that time when I was so stressed and overwhelmed, I thought of, why not hire somebody else to do some of the tasks that I'm doing? And so when I experience, stress and burnout, I decided to start my own agency so that I can have other people work on my projects. And in return, I'm also helping them have a stable job. And since I have experienced stress and burnout firsthand as a business owner, I know how other business owners who are doing everything alone in their business feel when they are stressed and overwhelmed. And so that's why whenever I see them having that freedom and flexibility to do whatever they want, now that they have learned how to delegate, now that they have a team of virtual assistants, that just gives me a lot of joy. Because again, it's not all about money, it's about how you make the other person feel when you help them out.
Exactly. It's about you're helping them fulfill their life fully, as opposed, just as you wanted to do when you made the move to the US. It's very interesting how that came full circle, because it's what you
Yeah.
wanted. It's what you wished for. You wanted to have time because that's very important to you. Family time, relationship time, a life, as opposed to burnout and overwhelm. And so that's the gift that you're now giving others. I, that totally makes sense. And it does, it brings
Yeah.
you joy. And that's the whole idea of being your own CEO.
Right, exactly. And if you think about it, like, what's the point of becoming a millionaire, a billionaire, if you don't have anybody else with you, if you have neglected your family and friends? Like, where are you going to spend your money on? Right? And maybe we have different, goal as to how we're going to spend our money. But for me, I want to make more money, not because I want to be greedy. I want to make more money because that means I'm going to be able to bless more other people through the blessings that I have currently. And I always talk about, the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is dead right now because it has a lot of nutrients, in it, but it's not flowing to any other river or sea or ocean or whatever. So it's like, it's the very blessing that the Dead Sea has. It's the one that's killing it as well because it's not flowing to any river or to any form of water. And so that's how I see myself right now. If I'm not sharing what I have, regardless if it's monetary or if it's just my gifts or skills, whatever my talents, I need to share that with other people because I believe that we are meant to share what we have to other people, not just for ourselves. We are meant to live within a community and help each other.
Yes, absolutely. I love that metaphor that the Dead Sea is dead because it's not being able to flow. That's really amazing. That's wonderful. Uh, Now, thank you for that. Moving on to your company, because we do have a lot of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs here, and some are already in the midst of their business, some are launching. That what about the branding and marketing approach that you used to get started in your business, and has that since changed?
Yeah, it has changed a lot. Like, Like in the past, when I was starting my agency, I mentioned that I was reaching out to business owners, to entrepreneurs, and pitching them our services. But now it has changed because before those people notice you, you need to have credibility. You have to show proof that you can really do the services that you are offering to them. And so that's why nowadays we are focused on building brand awareness and asking our clients to provide testimonials or reviews, and also to give us feedback so that we know how we can improve. And so 2 years ago, we were doing a lot of outreaches on LinkedIn. LinkedIn was the number one lead generation tool that we use, and we have had a lot of clients closed just from LinkedIn. But we noticed last quarter of 2021 and this year, LinkedIn outreaches seem to be not working anymore, at least for us, for my company. But what has worked the best is client referrals. So now our best lead generating tool is our client or our clients, because they know that we can do the work for them and that we can do the work for their entrepreneurial friends as well, who are stressed and overwhelmed. And that's very organic, and we don't really have to spend a lot of money because it's our clients who are sharing about smart VAs, who are becoming our ambassador. And currently we have more than 90 plus clients. And so just imagine if those 90 clients would go on social media and spread the word about us, who would need to pay Facebook or Google ads or LinkedIn, right? And so to answer your question, before we were doing, personal outreaches, but now it's our client who are doing the work for us, just because we focus on delivering good quality services to them.
Yes, referral business is the best business because it's someone endorsing you, and that there is no better way to someone to recommend your business and know that they've already done the work, trust you. And so they're almost just ready to step right in if in fact that's what something that they need. Just a quick question. If you didn't have that referral base right now in your business, would you still recommend LinkedIn, or is there another platform that you prefer today?
We still do LinkedIn outreach, but that's just not the only thing that we're doing, since that hasn't really worked so
Hmm.
well for us if we compare it to the first year that we started LinkedIn outreach. But LinkedIn outreach still work. You just have to be really creative, and you have to like personalize your messaging, and you have to make sure that you're putting content on LinkedIn as well, because nowadays if you send a connection message to somebody on LinkedIn, they think that, who is this person? Oh, I'm sure this person is just going to send me, some scripts or something, and that's how I feel. And so you really have to be very witty when you send messages to your LinkedIn connection. LinkedIn still work, but you just really have to be creative. We also do Instagram Reels, and that has worked so far. And I think Instagram is now probably, I'm not really sure, but it's probably our second or third um, lead generation, platform that we like as of the moment because of Instagram Reel.
Right, right. Well, thank you for that information because it certainly is some good feedback for those people who are looking to increase their exposure. And with your experience and your expertise, it's great to hear it from you as to what has worked and what you continue to use. So I have a question for you. When you have your VAs, because you do have quite a big team, What do you believe is the most important skill for a virtual assistant to have?
That is really a good question. And speaking of skill sets, there are a lot of things that that's that's important to have. But as a person, and we may be different, I believe each individual, regardless if you are an entrepreneur or not, we like people differently. You may like an introvert person because that person doesn't talk so much, or I might like an extroverted person because I want somebody just who can just get the conversation flowing. So it's pretty much the same with hiring a virtual assistant and knowing what you like and what you don't like. To me personally, over skill sets, I prefer having someone who is very honest, with integrity, and somebody that I can rely on, somebody that is very committed. Let's say you want to hire a social media manager. If I want to hire a social media manager, the skill set should be there, but I also look for the characteristics that I want. The soft skill sets that I need, for that virtual assistant to have. I want somebody who is honest, authentic, somebody who I can trust. Because at the end of the day, if you have somebody who is very good in social media, but if that person is always out, you can't even communicate well with that person because that person is always late or is always absent. That skill set is no match to someone that is always present. You know, I remember when I was still at school, they say, my parents said that, you don't really have to be smart. You have to just be consistent and be present all the time. And I really believe that even until now, because with our virtual assistants, their skill sets are not just the only thing that's important for me or to our organization. I want to make sure that their values, um, that our core values are also something that they believe in, because I need to make sure that they are on board, with our vision and everything else that we do.
Yes, that's wonderful. Absolutely. And the presence is so important because if you're not
Yeah,
present, you're not actually listening to what the client really needs because everybody's needs are different. So that makes a huge difference. Now, I have a question for you because I'm sure you may have come up against this. Say I'm a micromanager and I have a challenging time letting go of tasks for fear that they won't meet my standards. That I want to hire a virtual assistant, but I have that fear, that deep rooted fear that I have to manage everything on my plate. What would you say to me
that
to
is a
convince
good
me that
question.
to convince me that having a VA would help, would not make things worse, but better?
Okay. Well, first, I will ask if they want to scale, because not not all entrepreneur wants to scale. They are some of them, they are content with just doing everything alone. They're content with maybe getting 5k monthly income or 10k monthly income, but they don't really have a desire to scale to 6 or 7 figure, if that makes sense. So the very first question that I will ask is, do you want to scale, or are you content with what you're doing right now? Because if you are content, you don't want to scale, then I will leave you. I'm not gonna force you to delegate if you are content and happy with what you're doing. But if you want to scale and you know you feel discontent, with what you are getting monthly, and you feel like you're not achieving your goals, then my next question for you is, what are what are your goals? because you need to have a goal before you delegate, before you hire a team member, regardless if it's a virtual or a physical assistant. So first, again, do you want to scale? If you want to scale, what are your goals? If you tell me your goals, my third question would be, what are the things that you need to do in order to get to where you want to be? And if you list down those tasks that you're going to do, I'm going to ask you, can you do it all?
Yeah.
If they tell me if they tell me yes, I would ask how. How many hours a day do you want to work? 24 hours? There's only 12 hours in a day, you know? And if they tell me no, I can't do all of this. Okay, now let's get to the problem. You are a micromanager and you fear that if somebody takes on the task that you're doing, you fear that it won't meet your standard. Why? What is the root cause of that problem? I'm pretty sure there is something that is triggering that. Have you had a situation where somebody did a task for you and it wasn't what you were expecting? But what I have noticed so far, just by being in this business, I have observed that most business owners, they have fear of letting go because they are not prepared.
Oh, that's interesting.
They are not prepared because they don't have processes in place that will teach their virtual assistant or their team member how to do a task. So now that's where the fear is coming from. You fear that the person that will take over your task won't be able to meet your standard because you don't know what or how to instruct that person. But if you have the tools that you need in order to delegate effectively, you wouldn't fear so much because you know that you have outlined the step-by-step instruction on how to do a specific task. If
Right.
that makes sense. Yeah, and because a lot of people, they want to hire a virtual assistant, they will just say, hey, do my social media post for today. That's it, period. They don't even provide additional instructions like, okay, do my social media post today. I want the caption to be friendly. I want it to sound like me, and I sound like this, blah, blah, blah. And I want the graphics to look very minimalist. I don't want clutter. I don't want so many text, blah, blah. So you need to give specific instructions. And like I said, fear comes from not being prepared. And as a business owner, as leaders of our organization, we need to be prepared because we should not be firefighters all the time. Everything that we do in our business, if we want to grow smoothly and fast, we need to have everything documented. How you do your social media, how you do your podcast, how you reply to your clients, how you do your onboarding, how you pitch your services, how you do your LinkedIn outreach. Those things need to be documented step by step so that you won't fear that your VA won't be able to meet your expectation. And so that's first, not being ready because they don't have SOPs or standard operating procedures. And second, they fear that their team member won't be able to do the task um, as what they have expected because second, they don't know exactly how to do the task on their own. You cannot delegate a task without knowing it first. So you have to learn. I mean, you don't have to really know the nitty gritty detail of how to do a website, but you at least have to know the basic, the general information about it, like like knowing that you need to have a domain name, a website name before creating a website, those kind of things. But you not the whole thing, but you just have to know the very basic of it. You just go to Google and how to create a website, maybe just read like an article or something. So don't delegate something that you don't know, because how are you going to be able to teach that person if you don't know something, right? So I think that's something that is also triggering the fear of business owners when it comes to delegating, because they don't know how to do it themselves, and that's probably the reason why they don't have standard operating procedures, because they are everywhere. They're cluttered. They're not very organized. And I believe that if you are a business owner, if you are a leader of your business, you have to be organized, because you are leading yourself first before you lead other people. And I think that's a very valuable skill that a business owner should have, being able to lead yourself and be able to lead other people as well. And becoming delegating is not just delegating a task, you are delegating a responsibility. So you have to like really teach your VA, or your team member, the reason behind everything that you want them to do. Don't just say, hey, I don't have time to do my social media, so just please do it. Don't be like that. You have to explain properly that, hey, you know what, I am doing so many things in my business, and as the CEO of my business, I need to be thinking of strategies and innovation. And social media, I think this is something that I'm not good at, and I think you are good at it. And when we are active on social media, we can get a lot of clients from it. So I'm giving you this responsibility. Will you be able to help me out? Not like, hey, I don't have time for this, just do it. This is not important to me, so this is not important for me, this is trash, just do it. So it
Yeah.
has to be your vision, the reason behind everything has to be communicated properly. So I think I said a lot there.
That's okay. It's funny because you said just get it done, because that's how people who don't enjoy the social media task, that's how they feel about it. I just want to get it off my plate, just get it done.
Yeah,
But that's
which
why I
is
was
which is
laughing,
which is
because they're angry about having to do it. I have to admit, I mean, nowadays there are so many things that need to be done, but I could actually see somebody just say, just get it done. I can't handle it anymore. And they're just
which is
angry that it has to be done.
which is very
Yeah.
normal, because we're human beings and we get frustrated at things that we
Yes.
don't have time to
Overwhelmed.
do. But at the same time, we have to communicate to our team members,
Right.
properly what we really want to get done, instead of just saying, I don't want to do it.
Right. Right. It's about being purposeful in your
Yes,
directions
exactly.
to an individual. And then we come back to being present. Because if you were being purposeful, you would be present, and the individual listening for those instructions would then understand what you want to communicate in that particular post in order to move
Yeah,
things forward. So, yeah, in a way,
exactly.
sometimes maybe VA has to be a little bit of a psychologist and just listen and go, okay, she's in a really overwhelmed state right now. Maybe we need to take a breath. And you can tell me more than just get it done. But,
And you know
well,
what? That is,
go ahead.
sorry, sorry for interrupting you. And you know what? That is very, very real. Not a lot of people can delegate or communicate what they really want done. Some people, business owners, even me sometimes, I just say, hey, I want you to do my social media, blah, blah, blah. But before you do that, you have to make sure that you have built a relationship with your team member already. I always say to my business owner friends and to my clients that building a relationship with your team members, it helps a lot when it comes to delegating, because when they know you, when they know your vision, when they know your why, they know you personally and professionally, and they know what's in your heart, they know that you are a good person. When you delegate and you're not in the mood and you just want something be done, and you just say, hey, Kristy, just do it for me, please, I don't have time for this, your VA will not take offense from what you said, because your VA have already built a relationship with you. And so however much you scream, or yeah, however much you scream, or if you sound like um, not very pleasing anymore, your VA will understand that, oh, Kristy is probably just having a bad day because of this, blah, blah, blah. But I know Kristy, she's not really like that. That's why building a relationship is very important. And that's the same thing with friendship, right? If your friend says something kind of like you don't like, and you would be understanding to your friend because you know your friend's heart already, like, Jane is not really like that, I know she's a sweetheart, so she wouldn't do things like that. So it's kind of the same with building a relationship with your virtual assistants.
Yes, absolutely. Because really, your virtual assistant, when you have that type of communication, becomes a partner in your business. And when you view it that
Exactly.
way, it becomes so much more. So yes, I completely understand. And that's when you really get the engine going, is when they come together and become a partnership. Like you said, you get to know the individual, and likewise, the person who did the hiring gets to know the VA as well and say, yes, I know she can handle this. She knows exactly what I need because she's been, I've been dealing with her, and I'm good to go. This is what we need for today. This is the objective. I know you can handle it. If you can't, let me know, but you're good to go. So then you build that
Yeah.
partnership, and it's incredible. It's incredible what you can do.
Yeah.
So yes, I completely agree with you 100%. And thank you for all of that information, because that is something that a lot of individuals don't consider when they're going to be hiring a VA. It's like, do I want to scale? Do I know how to give a direction? Because a lot of these entrepreneurs are new at being entrepreneurs, and they're used to getting orders or getting instruction, but maybe they're not used to giving them. And so it's a learning curve. But that was very informative. I so appreciate that. So give us an idea of what your company's core skills and services are. Basically, I know you probably cover the gamut, but just tell our audience the key core skills and services that your company provides.
All right, sure. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to explain more about my business. So we are a virtual assistant agency. And unlike any other virtual assistant agency that only assigns one virtual assistant, Smart VAs assigns a team of virtual assistants, because I understand that us business owners, we have a lot of ideas. Today we might need somebody who is good at social media, but tomorrow we might need someone who can do podcast editing and video editing or website development. We change we change our strategies. I mean, not that often, but sometimes in one strategy that we have, it takes a lot of planning to do, and it involves a lot of tasks. And sometimes those tasks cannot be done by just one virtual assistant. That's why at Smart VAs, we provide a team of virtual assistants who can help you with anything that you need online. So we can provide services such as admin, marketing, website development, podcast, video editing, SEO, Google Ads, and we do it all for you. We provide a team for the price of one. So you have a plan, you have a strategy. Now our goal is to execute those strategies that you have so that we can help you grow the business. And so, just to be clear, we don't provide the strategy for our clients, we execute it, because we are not a marketing agency, we are a virtual assistant agency. So, the very first thing that we ask our client when they want to sign up for our services, we ask them about their plans, their strategies, because if you don't have a strategy, you cannot delegate, because you don't have tasks. You wouldn't have a task list if you don't have a strategy. And so that's who we are, that's what we do, and we're very passionate about seeing business owners achieve a freedom filled lifestyle, and also be able to be the CEO of their company and be able to spend whatever they're getting out of their business.
Yes, I love that, Kristy, that you informed us that you apply or you assign a group of VAs, you assign a team of VAs for each individual, because that is, for me, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's unique or not, because I haven't spoken with very many VA firms, but I find that extremely unique and very powerful, because, like you, every VA also has their area of expertise. And like you said, one might be an expert in social media, another one in the editing division, another one in, you know, whatever, podcasting. And it's important that you give people the tasks that they're able to do. But if you try to get that one person to do them all, they might not have that expertise. So assigning a team is, I think it's so powerful. That was, for me, that was a big insight, a really big insight.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
that's
I think,
actually our unique value proposition, assigning
mhm,
a team of virtual assistants. And because we assign a team of virtual assistants, we also offer a free project leader who would then be able to oversee all the tasks that you assign to your team of virtual assistants. Because if we don't want to do everything alone ourselves because we don't have the skills to do them, we shouldn't also expect our virtual assistants to do everything themselves. We should also have the desire for them to have their own freedom and flexibility as well.
yes, you've really taken this bull by the horns, and it's fantastic what you're building here. I am very impressed, very impressed. Absolutely. You've sort of ironed out the kinks, because a lot of platforms that have VAs, you get assigned one VA, and unfortunately, you're right, they don't know everything, and they shouldn't have to know everything, especially if you're going to be an expert in it. So that is wonderful to know that all your needs will be taken care of. And you may have answered this next question, because I was going to ask you, what do you hope people walk away with from your services? And you did say just a minute ago that you hope that they, can fulfill their life other than work tasks. So maybe if you wanted to expand on that, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I mean, first, we don't really want them to walk away, from our services because we want to build a long-term relationship. But I know what you're asking. I was just being silly.
That's good.
Well, yeah, I want them to achieve their goals. Like for myself, the very reason why I started my business is to be able to spend time with my family, with my husband, and with my loved ones. I want to make sure that when they hire us, when they start delegating tasks to RVAs, I want to make sure that they are also starting to achieve their dreams of their own. Whatever that is, I want to make sure that we are helping them with their vision and their mission, and that we are fueling them to achieve their why. Why did they start their own business? Like I said, we want to start a business, because we want to do other things than having our own business, right? We want to make money, but money is not really, shouldn't be the sole motivation for starting a business. There should be something else greater than, having a stable income or reaching 6 to 7 figure a month. So there should be something higher than that. So um again, I want to see my clients be able to live a freedom filled lifestyle. I think that's the key word there. Live a freedom filled lifestyle to do whatever they want to do.
Right, absolutely. And that's definitely in your, not only in your vision statement, but it's also everywhere in your marketing material, which really rings true to people, because you're right. We do get so caught up in this busy world that we often forget about filling ourselves. And that's really, your vision and your goal. And I love it. I love it. So tell me, what are you most excited about right now in your life?
I am excited about new opportunities. Now that I have learned how to delegate, now that I have a trusted team of virtual assistants or team members, now I have peace of mind that even if I don't put 100% of my time to my agency, if I do something else, I know that my agency is going to keep on growing. It will run without me. So I'm excited about maybe starting a new business and grow from there. And that's actually the beauty of being able to delegate, because you can do so many things. Once you master delegation, you would be able to start another venture, regardless if that's a business or something for your personal life. So that's something that I'm really excited about right now.
Well, that's wonderful. We can't wait to see what it's going to be. You'll definitely have to let us know when that happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. Any last words that you would like to share with our audience?
Yeah, I actually want to add to what I said earlier when you asked me about my advice to micromanagers. I think the last thing that I want to ask them is, are the things you're doing right now bringing you closer to your goals? If your answer is no, then my friend, it's time for you to ask for help. Because if you're not achieving your goals, you better ask yourself now, what are you doing that you should stop? What are you doing? What are you not doing that you should start doing? Because again, at the end of the day, we want to be able to achieve our goals and we want to see our vision come into life. And if that is not happening to you right now, maybe because you're doing everything alone, maybe because you're so afraid of asking for help, and maybe because you just don't have the right mindset in order to like take off some of the tasks from your plate. So again, if you're not getting closer to your goals, then I think you need to really sit down, have a piece of paper, and start reflecting on what you are doing and what you are not doing currently.
To achieve those goals. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So insightful and so powerful. Thank you. Everyone should take that advice and certainly get to work if that's the case, or give Kristy a call if you're getting overwhelmed and overworked, for sure. So, because we're here on the Epic Vision Zone, I have one last question for you. If your life were an epic story, what would the title be?
Ambitious entrepreneur from the Philippines who are willing to take all the risk in order to achieve her goals. That would
That
be the
says it
title.
all. That says it all. It really does. And then
Yeah,
open
I
it up
just
with it. Go
that
ahead.
I can probably shoot that, but I don't know how. But because I'm just very ambitious, and I feel like, I mean, not ambitious to the point where I would kill someone in order to get where I want
I
to be.
hope
Not
not.
that kind of person. Yeah, no, no. Um, yeah, but yeah, that would be the title of my epic life story.
Yes, absolutely. I could see it. Definitely. A dreamer who made her dream a reality. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's yeah, absolutely. So, Kristy, I am again, once again, so thankful for you to joining us, for you joining us here today, because that information was so valuable and something that we all could take away from, little bits and pieces of advice. And I encourage everyone to visit Kristy's website at KristyYoder.com. And all of that information you will be able to find on our Epic Vision Zone bio pages. So please go there to visit it, and be sure to follow me on Instagram at Jane Applegath. And don't forget that you can reach out to me at janeapplegath.com, where you can grab your free download, The Keys to Your Dreams. Looking forward to hearing from you. This is the Epic Vision Zone, transforming your dreams into epic success.